So a question I get all the time is, hey Charlie, what's the best way to find profitable NFT projects to invest in? So I created this free ultimate guide on everything you need to do in order to find good NFT projects. From what to look for to the communities and websites to join, case studies of really profitable NFTs, and more. By the end of last year, the NFT market reached a $41 billion value, and the industry is still very young with tons of potential in growth and use cases. So with that being said, let's get started. Here I have an overview of what we are going to cover in this course. What I recommend doing is pausing the video right now if you want to take a look at these. But yeah, really we're going to cover everything you need to know. So first up, what are NFTs? NFTs stand for non-fungible tokens, which means that they're unique and one of a kind, and basically NFTs are units of data that are stored on a blockchain. So this can be things like photos, videos, and even audio files that are stored on a blockchain where they can be verified through blockchain technology to trace who the real owner is. So yeah, if you guys are thinking that you can just, take a screenshot of someone's NFT on the market, you wouldn't actually be able to truly own it because they would be able to check on the blockchain that you are not in fact the actual owner. Now, I'm not going to go into a full in-depth guide on how NFTs work or the history behind them, but if you guys do want to learn more about that, you can actually check out my other video that I made where I go in depth on all those different things. So now that we've gone over what an NFT is, let's get into the risks of investing in the space. Because with anything that is high growth with tons of upside potential, there are a lot of risks that you should be aware about. And yeah, compared to other investments like an index fund, there are so many more variables, and I'm actually going to go into why that is the case. There are a lot of layers of risks, starting off with the most obvious one, and that is the crypto markets are subject to a lot of volatility. Then you have the risk that the NFT's popularity can decrease in a short amount of time, making your NFT worthless or at least worth a lot less. Then you have the risk of liquidity in the market for you to even make a profit in the first place. That is, can you actually find a buyer that's willing to buy your NFT? And last, you have the risk of demand, as you won't be able to sell your NFT or trade it on the market if there is no demand. Makes a lot of sense. Now let's go over the research tools that you guys can use to find NFTs. So after looking into a bunch of different research tools out there on the internet, I actually chose 6 tools that I think are the best at helping you find profitable NFTs. So first we have upcomingnft.net, which is a site that gives you an idea of any upcoming projects, events, drops, auctions, and giveaways. It's super useful for looking at real-time data on trending NFTs with their live feed tool. We also have OpenSea, which is known for its trading platform, but you can also go on there and see real-time rankings and activity between different categories in the NFT marketplace, such as music, art, trading cards, and more. And then we also have Rarity Tools, which you guys can use to track and analyze the NFT market and sort of sort them based on collection, price, volume, and then you can even give it a rarity score that tells you, if people think it's worth the investment. We also have Icy Tools, which is a useful platform for following real-time mints to see what people are currently buying, as well as an analysis on floor prices, volume, and sales. Mobi is another really good platform for fast statistics and data on NFTs, right? So they have these really short window times of 10 minutes, 60 minutes, or 24 hours. So you can make really quick decisions since the crypto markets are changing very rapidly nowadays. And then lastly, we have WhoTwi, or I'm not sure how you say it exactly, WhoTwi. And this is not like any of the other websites, but it's actually pretty important for following certain NFT communities and also finding out who they're interacting with so that you can, find other projects in the community that are active on Twitter, which is the main platform for crypto in general. So now's the part you guys have probably been waiting for, and that is the checklist that you can use when doing research on NFTs. So whatever project catches your eye, all you have to do is go through this checklist step by step, and afterwards you'll be able to increase the likelihood of success when investing in NFTs. So here is the checklist. It all really comes down to the research that you do and how deep you dive into things, and this can really be divided into 6 different steps. I'm going to briefly go over them right now, but I'm going to go more in depth into each of these things. First, you have the art, then you have the creators or founders, then you have the social media presence. Number 4 is the community, 5 is the uniqueness, and then 6 is your decision of whether or not you're going to invest in that NFT. It might seem like a lot of steps, but when you really break it down to the main 3 things, you're really just doing research, then deciding on whether or not to invest, and then tracking your investment. So I'm here on the Rarity Tools homepage. You can see that they have newest collections added. If you scroll down, you can see that they have more recent collections. They have top collections, sort all these things by, different things. Here in top collections, you can see that this is pretty much like the coin market cap of NFTs. It's going to display a big list of NFT projects, and you can see all these different things like the volume, sales in the last 7 days, total supply, owners, estimated market cap, as well as when it was added. So yeah, really cool resource to actually get more information about these projects. If you go up here and click on upcoming, it's actually going to show you any upcoming NFT sales, and it's going to, link to some of the artwork. It's going to link to their Discord, Twitter, and website, as well as when that particular project went on sale. So yeah, later on in this video, I'm going to be actually looking through an NFT and going through all these different things I talk about. So make sure to stay around for that. So this is Icy Tools. This is also another really great resource for finding more information about NFT collections. You can see that you have a trending section. You also have discover. But yeah, basically it's going to tell you the collection name. It's going to tell you the actual floor price. You can sort by, 1 day, 12 hours, 1 hour, whatever. I'll tell you the sales in that time period, the average price, the volume, and the market cap. So this is WhoTwi. I'm just going to call it that from now on. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can basically see this is a graphical Twitter analysis. So you can basically just enter in a Twitter ID, and it's going to analyze, their friends, their tweet trends, follows, and followers. For NFT projects, it's really important that you guys follow people that, talk about NFTs a lot. And also, of course, seeing who they interact with and what they tweet about. So some really well-known influencers in the NFT market include Logan Paul, you have Gary Vee, Mark Cuban, G Money NFT, Snoop Dogg, Pranksy, and Champ Grant. There are tons of other people that talk about NFTs, but these are some of the more notable people. For example, if I enter in G Money NFT right here, I'll click search. You can see this is what the analysis looks like. It'll give you some profile information. You can actually analyze, tweets, follows, followers, mutual love. And yeah, it's really cool because it sort of lists them as their best friends. So you can see these are the people that they talk to the most. If you come down here, you can see when they tweet and the times. You can see their most popular hashtags and the people that are often in conversations with this person. So you can see, yes, a lot of people that are in the NFT space. So now that we've gone over some of the research tools and I've showed you a sort of screen share of them, let's go over the things that you should look for when doing research. First is, of course, the art. Here are some really important questions that you guys should be asking yourself, right? Does the art personally look good to you, and would you actually be proud of owning one? If the worst case scenario happens and no one wants to buy your NFT, then you should at least be able to be proud to own one because it's cool to look at, just like whether or not you would buy a painting to hang in your house. Another question to ask yourself is if the NFT is a unique piece of art or if it's just a copy or random NFT that's trying to ride some sort of bandwagon. There are tons of new NFTs being made every day, so it is important to know if they're legitimate or not, but we will go more into that in a little bit. So this is the EtherRock collection. It's a really great example of something that doesn't really look like art, but actually has a very high floor price of over $1 million. However, I am sure that there are tons of other NFTs out there that were created after this one that try to emulate the same concept of, having a ridiculously simple design that can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you do have to be pretty careful in that case, right? But although there are outliers like the EtherRock collection, many that are created and look too simple to sell are often just, rug pulls or NFTs that won't go anywhere in price. So yeah, in general, you'll want to stay away from things that look like someone just painted them on Microsoft Paint. The next thing we are going to be looking at are the creators or creator. The main thing with this is that we want to verify their credibility and legitimacy. This is super important for spotting NFT projects that are either profitable or rug pulls because, oftentimes what a rug pull NFT will have are anonymous creators or fake founders that can be traced back to random people when you search them online. So if the creators are real people, you'll want to ask yourself, do you support and believe in these artists and their mission? Do they have a solid reputation in the industry? And let's say an NFT is coming out with a game, right? I personally would look at their creators and look for experience in game development or skills that could help with their roadmaps. There are tons of NFT projects with creators who have no background, no experience, and no skills, and those are the ones that you'll want to, sort of stay away from. There are also NFT projects that will add in buzzwords that will make them seem credible or increase the excitement. So you'll want to enter this as if you're going to a car dealership and the person is just trying to get you to buy. For me, my whole game plan is sort of, be skeptical, look at all these NFT projects as guilty until proven innocent. Next up is the social media. With social media, this basically consists of a lot of things, but the most important things to focus on are their website and their Twitter account. You're going to want to ask, do they actually have a legit website, or is this something that looks like a blatant scam? Most NFT projects that aren't profitable are the ones with really bad websites and no engagement on Twitter. The thing about Twitter is that a lot of NFT projects can actually buy their followers, likes, comments, and retweets. So you'll want to be really sure and careful that, all this engagement is organic and it's actually real. On Twitter, you'll want to check and see how many followers they have and how much engagement they have. And like I said earlier, a project could have many followers, but when you go to their Twitter profile, you can see that many of their posts get 0 engagement, which probably means that it's all fake and they're not going to be a good buy. You want to check if the followers, likes, and comments are fake or real. And you can check this by actually clicking on the people that are liking and commenting and then verifying their identity on the internet or their engagement on Twitter. It's pretty easy to tell if you know what to spot for. Most of the time, they're going to be fake because the internet is full of bots nowadays. But if there's a project that's actually, good, your chance of finding real people interacting with the Twitter is very high. Now, look at some more specific things you can look for on the website. One question you can ask is there anything that looks suspicious? For example, broken links or spelling errors. You'll actually want to find real information on the founders or creators because credibility is huge. So if you can find more information about the founders either on their website or Discord, you'll want to see specific details rather than vague descriptions. On their website, do they have a roadmap? And if so, is the roadmap easy to read? Is it artistic? Is it something that looks interesting? Roadmaps are basically pitch decks, and they are a visually appealing strategic plan for the NFT. The whole purpose of them is to create excitement about the future of a project, and it gives investors an idea of when they can expect to see certain outcomes. However, it is important to know that NFTs can have a really great roadmap and still fail because of failure to execute. That's why it's crucial to find NFTs with realistic and measurable goals that the team can work on so that you can see if, action is actually being taken. So here's an example of a roadmap that we might see from an NFT project. So typically they'll include the timeline of, when they create it, when they plan to, or when they open up the market to mint. Then they might announce a future game release. So they'll be working on game development, or maybe they'll have a mystery airdrop to certain holders to build the excitement and give value and benefits to the holders. There are so many different possibilities nowadays because people are being super creative, as you'll see later on in the case studies. But to make things simple, you just want to make sure that these aren't just goals to make people invest for no reason. There should be evidence that the people behind the NFT are in it for the long run, as people tend to lean more towards long-term projects that they actually believe in. So if you can find a project that has this trait early on, you'll definitely increase your chances of, being profitable. Next up is the community. The community mostly has to do with their Discord because that's where most NFT communities are. You'll definitely want to go join the Discord of the NFT that you're thinking about getting and see if they have a real audience. Look at how many people are in the Discord, if they're active, and if the mods and founders are active and constantly updating the Discord with messages and announcements. You'll also want to check the community from a minting standpoint and see how many people actually own a piece of the collection to see if it's a real community. So yeah, doing all this research on these socials and stuff is not fun. But yeah, this strategy is to make sure that you are minimizing the chance that you are investing in an NFT project that is a rug pull. With NFT investing, you definitely need to be investing in projects that are for the long term because that is where you're going to see utility growth and long-term appreciation in price. Another really important thing that you guys should be doing is looking for credible and experienced people that are heavily involved in the crypto and NFT industry. So there are some people out there that spend their entire day doing research and finding new opportunities because that's their passion. And if you can follow them, you can actually be able to see what NFT projects they're currently looking at. It's really important to follow someone on Twitter that has shown experience or has chosen NFTs that have, done really well in the past, because if they are constantly finding gems in the market, chances are they will be able to do that again. At that point, it's all up to you staying up to date on their social media activity so that you can see, which projects that they're interested in. And then that's going to allow you to do further research on your own and then make your own decision on whether or not you want to buy it. And another important aspect to consider is the demand for the project, which is more specifically the number of followers compared to the amount of unique NFTs available. You'll also want to see if this level of demand is increasing over time. So let's say an NFT is launching next month and they have only 500 unique NFTs that can be minted. If you see that there are 500 followers and then in a week there are more, chances are you're looking at a pretty solid investment, because if you can get in, it could definitely sell out, which means that you can sell the NFT for a higher price once the minting process is done. Overall, it's just really simple supply and demand principles. Moving on, we have the unique selling point. Here are some questions that that you guys should definitely be asking yourself. Is there anything unique about this project at all? Nowadays, there are tons of NFTs that, may look different, but they all act the same exact way. However, if you can find an NFT with a unique selling point, your chances of making a profit become much higher. For example, do they have some type of unique thing like a burning mechanism? Do they have a liquidity pool? Do they have some unique game design? Do they have actual utility? Tons of NFTs that have been really popular actually give you unique access to a specific community. You can also ask, is the art style different and unique? And is there an unusual amount of hype around the project? And if so, why? So now let's look at some case studies of some profitable NFT projects. Starting off, we have the Bored Vitalik Moon Club, which actually launched May 5th. You can also see that there are 3,333 total to mint at 0.06 ETH. I know I mentioned that I was going to show you, case studies of profitable ones. This one is brand new. So I'm not saying to invest in this. I'm actually just choosing this because I thought it looked interesting. And yeah, I'm just going to take you guys through the entire checklist going through this NFT project and my thoughts and opinions on the project. So if you go to their website first, you can see more information about their NFT and how you can have access to raffles, events, giveaways, as well as access to the Moon Club, which is their community. This is pretty standard as most NFTs have exclusive groups and events like this. What's cool is that they use 60% of their funds for charity organizations. So if you do want to support these causes, that does seem to be a pretty cool bonus. And then scrolling down, you can see their roadmap, which has a merch store that they plan to open, as well as a serum that will probably be able to boost the rarity of the NFT. So the roadmap doesn't seem too bad. Next, looking at their Twitter, you can see their follower count. Here you can see the engagement of their Twitter posts. And one thing you should be looking for is that there should be a decent amount of activity. So 200 or more likes. Then looking at their Discord, we can see that they have over 5,000 members, which is a good sign, but we want to actually go in and see if the members are actually real and not just bots. Right off the bat, we can see that they have 800 NFTs minted so far, which is not that good. And as I'm looking through, I just can't seem to find out much on their creators, even though I see that Alex is the owner, and I wasn't able to find much info on their website either. So right now the project does not seem too promising, and yeah, I would not invest in something like this. They sort of just bandwagoned on the Vitalik name as well as the board name, which to me does not create much of a strong case for this NFT. Now let's take a look at a case study for VeeFriends by the great entrepreneur Gary Vee that you guys have probably all heard of. He recently entered the space and brought a lot of attention to it, so I think this could bring some profit already just from the fact that I know the creator, his background, his skills, and his reputation in not only the NFT community, but also as an entrepreneur. With this NFT, you actually do have unique access to VeeCon, which is pretty cool, where you'll be able to meet a lot of people that are like-minded. So just looking at the creator of this NFT project and how much influence he has, I'd say that makes this project pretty valuable and unique for its holders because Gary Vee is very legitimate in my opinion. I really like that you get special access to VeeCon. And yeah, definitely one that I would look into a little bit more closely. Next, we have Moonbirds, which is a pretty unique NFT collection that actually achieved $281 million in sales and became one of the top collections in existence earlier this year. The reason why it's amassed so much popularity and growth was the fact that they were backed by digital artists like Mike Winkelmann, who is the digital artist also known as Beeple, and Gary Vee. The NFT also has a lot of potential for growth and profit because of their tier upgrade system, which adds value to the individual's NFT the longer they hold them. This one has a lot of things that are checked off on the checklist. The art looks good, the founders are reputable, the community is strong, and they have a unique selling point. So although it's always easy to look back in hindsight, it is always good to look at examples of what a good NFT is so that you can look for similar qualities in upcoming NFTs. Bored Ape Yacht Club is also a very, very popular one of the biggest ones in the world. They're made by Yuga Labs and they've grown to a value of over $500,000 in the past year. This one became super popular among celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Justin Bieber, and Mark Cuban, and a big reason is because of the commercial usage rights that someone has when they own a Bored Ape. It also comes with Yacht Club membership, which is really, really important. And yeah, overall, this is a really great project that you guys can learn from. To make things even more interesting, Yuga Labs actually released serums that were airdropped to Bored Ape holders, and when given to their Bored Apes, it actually transformed their NFT, and they would essentially have a chance to make their NFT more rare through this transformation. Because tons of artists have joined in on on the NFT project, it has sort of become a status symbol, making it more and more valuable for people who want to join the community with celebrities. Recently, they came out with a video game that was available for people to play for 3 days, and winners would receive a proof of attendance, which was an NFT that would get sent to your wallet address. This basically just gave them a reward for winning and participating. Now, this might not seem like a big deal right now, but this really is just the beginning. The Bored Ape Yacht Club has plans to expand into the metaverse, which can definitely increase the price of the NFT and bring a lot of attention to the community. And as of right now, news has come out that they plan on acquiring virtual real estate, and I think this is super promising in terms of the future success of the NFT market. So once you've gone through the checklists, once you've done all the research and you've found good investments, you'll need to invest somehow. And these are some of the best platforms that you can actually buy NFTs on. So you have OpenSea, Crypto.com, Nifty Gateway, Rarible, and NFT Launchpad. So we've come to the end of the guide, and I want to go over everything we just went through because I know that was a lot of information. So here's what you need to do if you want to find profitable NFTs to invest in. One is assess the risks of investing into NFTs and ask yourself if it even makes sense for you to take that risk. Two is use the research tools and look at the data, statistics, and analytics. Three is to go through the checklist, right? So does the art look good? Do they have real creators? And if so, are they credible? Do they have social media engagement? Is their website fishy? Do they have a roadmap? And if so, is it solid? Do they have a strong community? Is their Discord active? And are they unique? Then you want to think, is there demand for the project? And then once you've gone through all these different things, choose 3 to 5 potential investments and then choose one of the platforms to actually buy it with. So yeah, that's pretty much how you find profitable NFTs. And I hope that this video was helpful and gave you guys, sort of some more clarity on what to do in order to find these projects. Please do your own due diligence because crypto and NFTs are very volatile as well as risky. I bought things that have done really well, but I've also bought things that have done really poorly. But if you use the things in this video, it's going to make your chances of success much, much higher. So yeah, feel free to bookmark this video, come and reference it later on if needed. And yeah, happy trading, you guys. I hope that all you guys watching this video see some really great gains this year. Share with a friend, like and subscribe if you want more videos just like this. I make a ton of content about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.